So as you know, we'll be talking about online calendars today. Online calendars allow you to instantly access your calendar on your phone, computer, or tablet. You can easily add events and reminders. There are many online calendars that are available in our devices. Some examples are Google Calendar, Apple Calendar, and Samsung Calendar. We are going to discuss the pros and cons of using online calendars in order to help you decide whether you would want to use it instead of a normal paper calendar or not. We are also going to teach you on how to add events using online calendars and color code these events in order for your calendar to be clean and organized. To start off, the advantages and disadvantages of using online calendars. The advantages. So one of the helpful advantages of using an online calendar is that it can be accessed from multiple different devices. Most people always carry their phone or laptops around, which means that they have access to their calendars wherever they are. You can also sync or transfer your calendar onto other devices so that your calendar won't be lost if your current device gets broken or lost. Online calendars also give you the ability to schedule meetings and appointments from anywhere. If you are in a meeting, for instance, you can set up the next one using the online calendar right on your phone. This allows everyone to coordinate schedules and saves time. It also eliminates the need to go back and forth among all the meeting members over the following days trying to figure out when everyone can get together. You can also set up reminders on your phone to prevent you from missing important appointments and meetings. To make it even more convenient, you can set up the reminders in different time increments. Example, 15 minutes before or 10 minutes before or 5 minutes before. These are up to your own preference. And this allows you ample time to get to scheduled events on time. If you run several businesses or have several clients, this is a fabulous tool that allows you to create a calendar for each one, even color code them for ease of use, and manage them on an independent basis. The disadvantages. This disadvantage only applies to few online calendar apps or websites. And as the name online calendar suggests, you can only use it when you have internet connection. This means that you can only use it outside if you have a data plan or if you are connected to a router or Wi-Fi. That said, some online calendar apps like Apple Calendar or Google Calendar have a feature that lets you save your calendar offline and be available to view even if you have no internet connection. Data corruption. This rarely happens when using online calendars, but it is a possibility. Sometimes if your device has been infected by a virus or has too much data than the device can handle, there's a possibility that your calendar may be altered or worst case, deleted. That said, data corruption happens very rarely and only few people have experienced it. You should be fine as long as your device is working properly. Battery life. The most common problem with using technology is that battery life can sometimes fail. This is not going to be a problem if you have a power bank, but even power banks can run out of power. You won't have this problem if you are using a desktop computer since it is plugged every time it is used, but then you won't be able to bring your calendar outside. Then again, you can sync online calendars to any other device. Creating events. So there are many online calendars out there that you can use, but Google Calendar is one of the easiest and most common. We are going to create a Zoom event, for example. So the steps are, first, on your computer, open Google Calendar. The second step is to click the plus sign create on the upper left corner of your calendar. After step 2, you are going to be shown these options. At the part where it says add title, put Zoom meeting or the event that you are attending. Click the date below the event button to mark the date of your Zoom meeting. Beside the date, you can also set up the time of your Zoom meeting. And there's also a menu where you can add other people. It says add guest button. Or you can also add a location if you're not having an online meeting and you're actually going somewhere. And you can add the description as well. And these menus are just optional and you do not have to add these if you do not want to. You can also click the more options beside the save button if you want to set notifications or guest permissions if you add other people to the event. And after you're done filling the information, click Save to save the event to your calendar. Color coding events. Color coding is the process of coloring events in your calendar in order to organize them and find them quickly. You can either color code existing events or events that you're just making. The first step is to change the color of event. You must find the event you want to color code and right-click it. After you right-click the event that you want to color code, a delete option and a bunch of colors options will pop up. If you want to remove that event from your calendar, click delete. If you want to change the color of the event, then choose what color you want to change it to. When color coding, be sure to be organized. For example, color the meeting schedules yellow or color shopping schedules green. Use matching colors to the events that are related to each other. This helps to avoid confusion, and if you put random colors on every event, that will also create confusion as well. Having a well-organized online calendar can help you make your schedules neat and easier to manage. So now we're going to go do a live demo on using Google Calendar. And I'll be showing you how to add a Cyber Seniors meeting to your calendar. Okay, so I hope everyone can see my screen. So this is a meeting that I've just registered for, so I can show you how to add it to your calendar. So here you can see a button saying add to calendar. You're going to click that and then you get the options. Right now I'm going to be showing the Google Calendar live demo, so I'm going to be clicking that. Then it's going to lead me to a page which has all my emails on it. I'm going to be choosing the Cyber Seniors live demo for today, but you may choose whatever email you prefer to add the meeting to. It asks me to allow it permission, so I'm going to do that. Okay, so this is how your Google Calendar should look like. If you wanted to create a meeting yourself, you would just click create, and then you can add the title for the meeting that you want to create. For example, I'm just going to put Zoom meeting right now. And then you would just, if you want to have more options, you would click this button and you can change the date you want to have it on right here. So if I want to schedule it for Friday, I would just click the 30th. You can also change the time as well. So for example, I can choose 4 to 5 if I want to, and you can add the time zone as well if you want to have a different time zone. So then you can also set up the notifications as well. So I want a 30-minute notification, but if you want it to be longer, for example, you can just click the upper arrow or the downer arrow, and you can even choose if you want it like an hour notification, in days or weeks as well. You can also add a description as well, and you can change the event color on here to match what you want. If you wanted to add guests, you would just go to the sidebar here and you would type in the email of your guests. And you can also choose to change the guest permissions. You can choose if you want the guest to modify the event, be able to invite others, or just see the guest list. Once you're done, you would click the Save button. Okay, so the Cyber Seniors event that I chose seems to have appeared here. I didn't see that before, but yeah. So it just appears on your calendar right here. And if you wanted to join the meeting that you created, the meeting that you registered for on Cyber Seniors, you would just click the Join Zoom Meeting button. And seems to have created multiple ones for me because I kept clicking it again and again. I didn't notice that it appeared here, but if I wanted to delete that, I would just go and right click and press the delete button. If I wanted to change the color of this meeting, I could change it, like if I wanted all Cyber Seniors webinars to be in like a yellow color, then I can do that right here. You can also go to settings here and you can change some features on your calendar to customize it. So the first part here is the language and region. So if you want it in a different language other than English, which should be your default, then you can do that. You can also change the country as well. You can change the time zone depending on where you live, although it should be set default for you depending on your time zone. And you can also set your notifications, so your default duration. So if you want most of your meetings to be set like a 60-minute notification, you can do that. You can also go into the individual events and change those notifications as well, like I showed you before. You can go to the guest list and you can have a default guest permissions. Like if you want your guests to be able to modify the event, invite their friends as well, you can check mark these options. If you don't want that, you can also re-click that. You can suggest if you want to be automatically added to invitations. So this means that if someone else invites you to a meeting, then you can choose to have that automatically updated to your calendar, or you can choose to not have it updated on your calendar. You can just choose no. Or if you wanted to update on the calendar, but you don't want notifications on it, unless you responded yes or maybe, then you can also do that as well. You can also choose how you want your notifications to appear. So you can choose them as alerts. If you don't want any notifications, you can just click the off button. Or if you want desktop notifications, you can also click that as well. You can also choose your view options as well. Do you want your calendar to show weekends? You can click that. If you want your calendar to also show events that you declined or that you will not be attending, but you were invited to those meetings, then you can choose to display that or not. You can choose to display your week numbers as well, or you can change the brightness of past events. If you want it to be on a lower bright level, then you can choose that as well. If you want it to be dimmer. And you can also choose the day on which you want to start the week. So here I have Sunday, that's the default day. But if you want your week to be started on Monday, according to your own personal preferences, you could do that as well. Or you can start it on a Saturday. You can choose how many days you want to be previewed on your calendar as well. and you can choose to display any other alternate calendars, like, for example, it says the Chinese calendar. There's also a couple of other options as well. Okay, so you can also choose to have multiple calendars as well. That should have also been in the settings button. But yeah, so you can go to the add calendar button here, and you can choose to create a new calendar to have separate calendars, and you can name that whatever you want. If I want to have a separate calendar for like family events, I could do that, and I can create the calendar. Okay, so I'm not given permission here, but you should be able to create the different calendar here. So yeah, and you can also choose to display which calendars you want to show on your preview. So if you want to show like the calendar you've created for birthdays, you can do that as well. If you do not want to show a specific calendar, you can also uncheck mark as well. And you can choose to display how you want your calendar to be displayed. Like if you want the individual day to be shown, like the hours in the specific day that you choose. You can also choose to have it shown weekly. You can choose to have it shown monthly, yearly, or in like 4 days as well. So yeah, so that brings us to the end of our live demo for Google Calendars.